Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and for the first time this season, welcome to 3 Things We've Learned. We're going to look back at the game last night between Celtic and Midtjylland, which ended in a 1-1 draw between the two sides. I was lucky enough to be at the game. I've got a little bit to talk about last night's video before we get into that. Roll the normal intro until I have a 3 Things We've Learned intro. So in case you missed it, last night I actually got to go to the game. That's why this video is a little bit late. When we get back to normal, I'll find out some sort of structure as to how I'm going to do this. But I decided I still want to talk about last night's game, even though it is a day later. And we can still look at the 3 big things that I thought that I personally picked up from the game. Now, in my matchday vlog, which you can watch on the channel if you want to go back and see it, it was fun to make it. I really enjoyed it, but at the end I was really negative, and I've actually went back and taken out my criticism afterwards. I had a few in me, and I think I was just raging that we didn't win the game when we should have really won the game, and we'll come to that. And I was going on about how it was disappointing and all the rest of it. Look, I was just chuffed to be back at Celtic Park, and I stressed that so much. But around the result, I was a little bit negative, and that's why I've wanted to take my time to make this video today, and I kind of go over my actual thoughts while I'm sober, while I've actually looked back at the game from all the different instances. And honestly, just so I can actually have a discussion about it rather than a 2-minute clip at the end of a vlog. So yeah, let's just get into that. Also, lads, thanks very much for 28,000 subscribers. We've smashed it. We're nearly there to 30k. So please, if you could, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30k, and we want to hit it as quickly as possible. So if you haven't, make sure to do it. It's free, it's quick, and it's the best way to keep up with the channel. So last night's game, I was very just buzzing to be back in the stadium. It was an amazing experience. If you've heard the clip of me singing "You'll Never Walk Alone," you can tell there is a genuine lump in my throat the size of 3 apples. There was a tear in my eye. I was honestly just emotional being back. I didn't expect it to hit me the way it did, but it certainly did. And it was the first time seeing Ange Postecoglou's Celtic in the flesh, and the first time anyone's seen them in a competitive game of football. So it was very exciting being at this game. It was good to get a taste of what we might see this season under Ange. And look, there was definitely positives. As I said, I was very negative in that initial reaction that I'd done, but looking back on it now, Celtic showed a lot of promise in it, and there still is. And I won't take back that there was a lot of disappointments too. I think we definitely still have a long way to go, and Ange just acknowledged that. You know, Ange just said that we still have work to do, we still have a place to go. The fitness isn't quite there where he wants it to be. We still need signings. Ultimately, in regards to how we had to play that game and how we had to set up for that game, Ange used the quote, "You'll never see my Celtic side as badly prepared again." I believe that was what he said after the game, or something along those lines anyway. So when you look at it and you look at the way we performed and the chances that we made with very much a weak side and a Celtic side that should never be starting Champions League qualifiers, we didn't play bad at all in regards to that and looking at the team we actually had. So there was definitely positives to take from it. And look, there was negatives too, and we'll come to that in this video as we talk about the 3 things that I think that I've learned. If you're new to the channel and you're new to the 3 Things We Learned format, I'm going to quickly run through the game from 0 to 90 minutes, and then we'll look at those 3 specific things. That's how we usually do it here, so we'll do that very quickly. Look, I think the start of the game, Celtic looked a little bit nervy, but definitely got going, got into it really well. And they started looking comfortable in possession. We had the lion's share of the ball. Midtjylland were very much looking to counter on us. But I thought we'd done well. Stephen Welsh, I thought, had a brilliant game up until giving away the free kick. I thought he was brilliant, and that showed in the first half as well. He was good at stopping a lot of those balls that looked as though they would maybe unlock them and get them in behind, or unlock us and get them in behind. I thought Soro was brilliant as well in that middle role. I thought his passing was good. I thought his intelligence around the game was good. He was looking up, he was making interceptions, he was doing those things that we know Soro can do. And going forward, I thought we looked really bright at times, especially on the wings, considering Abada played his first game for the club. You know, I expected Forrest to play. I thought we looked decent in the wings. Just up front, we weren't maybe as clinical as we could be, and we didn't really use Edouard as much as we should do, but it was interesting to see anyway. So yeah, we looked okay. I think both teams had their sort of moments. It was a bit erratic, it was a bit all over the place at times. Celtic finally broke the deadlock. We finally got a goal. Abada getting a goal on his competitive debut is exactly what you want to see. And on the build up to that goal, big massive shout to Ryan Christie, who I thought had a really good game yesterday. Even although we slaughter him constantly, I thought he performed really well. He was arguably the best player in the park. His shot was saved right to the feet of Abada, who put it in the back of the net. Then near Beaton, he lets us down. Unbelievable. He done the exact same thing at Ibrox. He doesn't think. He doesn't have anything between his ears. I know that the boy that has went down in the box goes down very easily, and there is a bit of play acting when Beaton puts his finger in his face, but that's not the point. It's not the point at all. The point is he's gave the referee that decision, that very easy decision to make. You don't walk up to the opposition and put your hand in their face. You don't start shoving them about when you're on a yellow card. You're asking for a booking. You're almost certainly going to be booked, especially if they start the play acting. And Near Beaton should know that. Going into this game, he was the experienced player in the back line. You would think he's the boy that's just came through the team, through the youth team. You'd think he was 18-year-olds. It was stupid, it was erratic, and there was no thought behind it. And it's cost us at the end of the day because Midtjylland went up. They ended up scoring in the second half. I know by this point we'd equalled it down to 10 men, but Beaton going off, I think, took a bit of the sting out of the game for Celtic. It really was noticeable. And I know it's very easy to say we should have matched it up when it was 10v10 and we should have went back to the way we were, but it's very difficult when you're then taking off one of the players who was one of the most entertaining and best players in the park in Abada for a centre-half. You're losing a lot of talent there and a lot of flair. So it was really annoying we're forced into that decision. They get back in the game. Barkas, oh my god, we'll come to him. Horrendous stuff. And yeah, I thought the second half we took our foot off the gas a little bit. Substitutions looked like they could do something when they first came on the park. I was thinking good subs, but ultimately we never got them. We were just a bit stale towards the end. We certainly did try and we had chances. McGregor came close with hitting the bar. I just think we have to be a little bit more creative with our set pieces. You know, we need to get better at them. And the free kicks were wasted as well. But look, listen, overall, there has definitely been an improvement there from when Neil Lennon was in charge of the team, and I'm looking forward to just seeing the team getting better. Should we have capitalised on the game and got a win? Absolutely. I think we should have. I think it's disappointing we didn't grab that second goal and walk away with what Ange called the 3 points. But honestly, disappointed in that regard. But let's talk about the 3 things and why I was a bit disappointed. Ultimately, it was a positive, I think. I didn't expect us to get a draw at the end of the day. I thought we'd get beat. I honestly thought we could have got pumped last night. So to see us get a draw in hindsight isn't too bad. Christ, I've went for a while here. I didn't expect to talk for so long, considering the game is well and truly over with. First thing I learned is fullbacks are the priority at the moment, I think. Centre-halves as well, yes, but Starfelt's apparently done. I would like another centre-half, but we need fullbacks. Anthony Ralston and Greg Taylor are not Celtic quality fullbacks. I chop and change my mind about Taylor constantly. You don't need to tell me that. There's times where I'm like, do you know what? It looks as though he's getting better. I think he could be good for Celtic. But then there's times like yesterday where I just thought he's not good enough. I don't know if everyone agrees, but I just don't think he's the quality Celtic need. I think he is a proper Kilmarnock fullback. Yes, he's young. He's got a long way to go, and I hope we do get the best out of him. But we need, if we want to challenge and we want to play the style of football Ange wants, Taylor isn't good enough. I think both Taylor and Ralston offer very little going forward and very little defensively. I know Taylor would bang on about playing for Kilmarnock was a good defensive fullback, but I've not seen it too much at Celtic, to be quite honest. And I think we need to put an emphasis on the priority there for the fullbacks coming in. We need quality in those areas. I just think Ralston showed a good bit of... He showed he tries and he tries and he tries, and I respect that. And you can only acknowledge that so much, though, before you're asking the question, are you good enough? He seems a bit clueless at times. And he definitely tries, he puts himself out there. Another guy who might get better, but honestly, I think we've seen what we can get. As David Buick once said to me, and I said this yesterday, I think he would struggle to get a game for Dunfermline. And I don't think he should be anywhere near that Celtic starting 11. And Taylor arguably is the same. Now, will Bolingoli get a chance? I don't know, but we should be signing players in both those full-back areas. We need real quality there. For the sake of Ange's football, we need someone with final product, or we need players with final product. We need people who are going to be able to go forward, they'll be able to bring themselves back and defend well, and ultimately just better players. Second thing, I think Liel Abada looks like he could be a star this season. Look, I'm not going to get in ahead of myself and do the old Shane Duffy treatment, even though I might have just done that by saying I think he could be a star this season. But I think that this is the kind of player that we've needed to give Forrest that challenge on the right-hand side. Now, we were talking on the podcast the other day, what will Abada's role be, considering Forrest is still at the club and Forrest will undoubtedly be the first pick? Is he going to be a guy that comes on for 10 minutes at the end of the game? I honestly think Forrest and Abada could share a lot of game time this season. And both could be experimented, I suppose, in the other wings or maybe through the middle or something. I don't know. But I think Abada will get a good share of games. I don't think he's here just to be someone that's on the bench and develop over the next 3 years. I think they want to develop him now. I think they want to get him into the position where he could be starting on that right wing as soon as possible. His finish yesterday was tidy. I liked it. And it was a shame to see him go off so early in the game. I would have loved to have seen him play the 90. I thought he brought a real spark. He's entertaining. And I'm hoping we see more of that in games to come. But I think that from what I seen yesterday, this is a player who can offer Celtic so much more than a guy that's going to be sitting on the bench. Forrest's shelf life is going down. It's not going to last much longer. He's 30, 31 years old. He's a winger. His legs are going to go. He's already struggled with injuries over the past year. Eventually, someone's going to have to take that place. And I think Abada could start fitting into that mould very, very soon. Am I getting over myself a little bit with how I seen him after only one game? Maybe I am, but he's surely dying for that opportunity. I'm sure he's ready to grab it with both hands. And from the kind of clips we've seen of him from his past team, at Maccabi, Peter, whatever they were called, he looked good, and he looked good last night. So I'm excited to see what the future brings and what this season brings for Liel Abada. And the third and final thing, and I didn't want to say this, but I feel like I might have to say it. We need a new keeper. We really do. I've been backing Barkas for so long. And look, I will back him. I'll continue to back him. But I think it's a massive risk playing this season with him as our number one choice. I don't know what is up with him, but he's certainly showing that nerve that he showed last season. That nervousness around the game. That sort of naivety. The kind of hesitance. He's just got all the traits you don't want to see in a keeper. He should have saved that yesterday at free kick. He is literally about to save it, and he pulls his hands away. I don't understand it. He's a man who's lacking a lot of confidence, and I don't want us to just kick him to the side and give him no chances now and replace him like Lennon did, just to hurt his confidence even more. But something has to be done quickly. It has to be done soon, or I'm sorry, I just don't really have a lot of confidence. When you have a keeper who's good, you have a keeper in goals who can make big saves, it makes a massive difference to not only the back line but the whole team, because there is a sort of confidence that your keeper can help you out in a lot of situations. Right now, I don't think there is that in Barkas. I don't even think Barkas believes himself, and it's a real shame because I've been championing him to get this turnaround in form, and I've really wanted to see it. And he made a couple of big saves against Preston in the friendly, but when you can't do it in the big games that matter, it's going to hurt you long term. Fraser Forster, I don't want to keep reverting back to him and saying we need Fraser Forster back, we need Fraser Forster. You know, I don't want to do that, but when he was at Celtic, he made big saves out of nowhere that saved Celtic a lot of goals over the course of the season. Barkas, right now, is showing me he won't make those saves, and those are the goals that end up costing you points, and those are the goals that end up costing you league titles. I have been backing him, and I will continue to back him, but right now I think we need to weigh up the discussion of getting a new keeper in. I don't know what happens with Barkas in that regards, but if he's conceding goals like that, left, right and centre, there's no chance of us winning any trophies this season. So that's it, that does it. Let me know what you think in the comments below about last night's game. I know it's a bit late and all the rest of it, but I decided better late than never, and I'll just get something out for you guys to enjoy. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.